Good morning and welcome to a new edition of Dr. Lamba's Awakening Call. WHO, World Health Organization, has the world attention focused in it because of the coronavirus pandemic. And it came into prominence with much greater force when President Trump withdrew the funding that was sustaining WHO. And as a matter of fact, WHO, in case it has to spearhead international health policy, in case it has to respond effectively to control the diseases, then it has to pursue deep reforms. And the deep reforms have to aim at broaden the jurisdiction and authority. But the way it has been happening, WHO is losing credibility, beginning with a new leadership. The recent pandemic proves that WHO has become a servile slave, a foot-licking lackey of China. And would it not be appropriate to call it CHO, Chinese Health Organization? As a matter of fact, I view coronavirus as a major war and it's a defining moment for the world. It demands major reforms of all international organizations, most of all WHO. And the credibility of WHO has taken a severe beating of the late. The WHO is the only organization that can provide global leadership. But at a time when such leadership is urgently needed, the body failed miserably. Before belatedly declaring the epidemic to be pandemic, on March 11, WHO provided conflicting and confusing guidance, more damaging helping China, where the crisis originated, to cover its trace. As a matter of fact, WHO was following the traditional policy which politicians adopt. If you cannot convince, confuse. And since WHO could not convince the people and the scientific fraternity, it started confusing them. As a matter of fact, it's widely recognized that Chinese political culture has helped turn a local viral outbreak into the greatest global disaster of our times. I don't want to sound alarmist, but when the coronavirus was detected in Wuhan, the CPC, Communist Party of China, concealed the outbreak, allowing it to spread much faster. It started in the month of November, and it was on January 17th that China told the word explicitly, but even then WHO was saying, well, it's a local disease, it doesn't have any epidemic proportion. There has been a calculated deception, a fraud played on the world, the people of the world, and the governments of the world. The WHO has been complicit in this conspiracy of deceiving people. Instead of attempting to independently verify Chinese claims, WHO took them at a face value and without any study, without any examination, disseminated them to the world. It was in mid-January, as I said, that WHO tweeted that there was no clear evidence of human-to-human transmission of the virus. Now, can anything be more ridiculous? That is virus which is spreading from virus to human and human to human, and also from symptomatic and asymptomatic people to the other people. WHO, with all the plethora of the scientists saying there is no human to human danger of infection. It was on January 13 that Taiwan gave a warning that what WHO was saying and what China was saying was a tissue of lies. WHO had sufficient information, but they could not convince China to be open. And the persistent publicizing of the Chinese narrative against the honest statement of Taiwan, WHO put those countries into dangerous position, delaying the response of Italy, Spain, France, USA, and UK. Dangerously belated. In fact, WHO actively discouraged reaction. On January 10, the Director General of WHO very clearly stated, I do not recommend any specific health measures for travelers to and from China, adding that these screenings of the passengers would not be of any benefit, but it will be against the interest of China. Even when the famous virologist and pulmonologist Zhong Mao, the Chinese leader, confirmed that human to human transmission was there, and he confirmed it on January 20. Till January 31, that's 11 days after he confirmed it, WHO said no, he is telling a lie. They downplayed the risk of a symptomatic transmission, discouraging widespread testing. Meanwhile, China was manufacturing PPE, personal protective equipment, scaling back exports, hiding them, hoarding them, along with hoarding the supplies of masks and ventilators with a purpose to ensure maximum returns later on. So they were making profit out of this human tragedy. The whole world was aghast, but Chinese were prepared, and that's why when the tragedy was at its height, they could export millions of pieces to each country at one go. As a matter of fact, Chinese daily reported that the production on war scale of PPE, of masks, and ventilators had started in the month of August. Now, till the month of November, there was no leakage. And then why were they producing at such an alarming pace the production of PPE, masks, as well as ventilators? The country exported 56 million respirators and masks in the month of March. By the time WHO ultimately labeled the epidemic as a public emergency, China had carried coronavirus to far-flung corners of the world, and including Australia, Brazil, France, Germany. But when countries like Australia, India, Indonesia, Italy, and USA imposed restrictions on travel from China, the WHO Director General Dr. Tedros criticized these actions and said that banning such travel would increase fear and stigma with no public health benefit. Can you believe the audacity, if not the lunacy, of the WHO Director General? At the same time, in the same statement, he praised President Xi for showing a very rare leadership and said that China is a very honest and transparent country. And the result was that the Deputy Prime Minister of Japan also very clearly said that WHO should be called CHO, Chinese Health Organization, and that's why I say the Deputy Prime Minister of Japan is 100% justified. But despite WHO's repeated deference to China, the authorities in China were not treating WHO as an ally, they were treating it with distrust. They did not allow a WHO team to visit China till the month of February. And then there were 12 members of the team, 3 were not allowed to visit Wuhan, And they were told they can visit Wuhan, but they cannot go to the lab where the virus had leaked. The study conducted by the South China University of Technology and Guangzhou, supported with the National Science Foundation of China, concluded that the killer coronavirus probably originated from a lab in Wuhan working on bad coronavirus. But WHO says there is no evidence of that. So even the Chinese admission was discounted by WHO. Now, why this happened? Let's not forget that the Director General of WHO is none other than the infamous former Foreign Minister of Ethiopia, who was responsible for killing off 5 million Ethiopians because of cholera, and he refused to treat and give vaccine of cholera to those Ethiopians, stating that they were anti-Ethiopia, that they were from Eritrea and the people who are from Eritrea should not be given help. A cold-blooded action which resulted in 5 million deaths is heading WHO. His sympathies are clearly pro-China, pro-Russia, pro-communist. But look at the change in the tune when he became the Director General. Till now, WHO was very critical of China. And this changed the WHO leadership in 2017 is there because China had supported Tedros when he was the foreign minister and cholera outbreaks were there in Ethiopia. So he was repaying to China the debt of gratitude. There was a time when WHO criticized China for not doing enough for the public health of China. In 2014, Ebola outbreak, when Tedros was the helm of agency, China wanted to send the vaccine. The vaccine was accepted and destroyed and not given to the patients. And that the cost of mismanagement continued, the reckoning became inevitable. 1 million signatures was there to throw Tedros out, and US funding has been withdrawn. Now the question arises, this is for the first time in the history of WHO that a non-physicist has become the Director General of WHO. Should that trend have changed just for the political purposes? Because China was the sole promoter of Tedros as appointment, USA opposed it, and UK opposed it. France and Germany were neutral. And since Russia was supporting China and the people controlling power in France and in Germany are not so happy with President Trump, they wanted to favor China. So Tedros became the Director General. And he had to repay the debt of gratitude, which had caused the death of 5 million people. So who cares if more than 10 million, 50 million people die in coronavirus, as long as China is whitewashed? The word needs a WHO. I'm not saying WHO is not required, it's required. But it needs to be transformed. This won't happen today. This won't happen until and unless WHO rebuilds its credibility, beginning with kicking out Tedros, having a new leadership, and then ensuring that WHO shall not be the handmaiden of any political party, any ism, any country. It shall be non-partisan. And its main function shall be the health of the people of the world without bothering whether they are Chinese or Indians or Ethiopians or Eritreans. The whole pandemic is a tragedy. Okay, I accept it. But It's a man-made tragedy, and the culprits are the Chinese, aided and abetted by WHO. Now, under law and jurisprudence, aid and abetment for a murder is as bad as committing a murder yourself. If you hang a person for killing, you send a person to life imprisonment for aid and abetment. Nuremberg trials at the end of the Second World War were a clear indicator of the law of international justice, that the people who are guilty of acting against the human rights of the people shall be hanged by neck. And 32 people were hanged by neck in Nuremberg. Others are facing life imprisonment. Eichmann was hanged by Israel later on. So should President Xi and Tedros not be prosecuted for killing millions of the people? The desire of Germany, England, and USA to ask for compensation is one thing, but would the compensation compensate the lives lost? And especially when these lives are going to be lost repeatedly. So, A, make the leadership of WHO apolitical. Let it revert back to the scientists, not to the pseudo scientists. Let there be no political affiliation, and let there be a international trial for these two criminals who have committed crimes against humanity. Don't you agree? Think about it, and then you will realize how badly WHO has let down this world, how criminal it has been in its conduct, its behavior, and its actions. Again, I'll say, I dare the leaders of the world to order the arrest the way President Nigeria was arrested, the way South Sudan president was arrested and sent to jail. Prosecute these criminals so that the human pain feels some safety, some solace, some peace. Thank you.